the next throws any easier? I know you had that hookup with Jeff and a couple other ones, but was it easier to see the field in any way once you get that big one out of the way?
Easier, I guess. We practiced all weekend, yeah. And we were just able to execute. I knew we was gonna have a chance. So.
In being 3-0 at home right now, what's that mean to you guys with the standards you have of making a bowl game and wanting to stay undefeated at home all year?
It means a lot to us anytime we get a victory, but especially when we're home, we know that we don't want to disappoint our fans. They come out and they support us, and it means a lot to us.
And Alex, and I know we talked during the week, but the turnover battle, another game without a turnover, but you end up pulling this one out. Comforting in a way, or are you still not pleased with not getting those turnovers?
I mean, in practice, we're still going to focus on getting the ball out and catching interceptions. I mean, we were really close on two or three today. One of them called back by penalty, but I mean that's a huge change in the game where we can get our offense back on the field when their defense is tired after a long drive. So, I mean, moving forward, that's definitely something that we want to build around and force turnovers.
In Connor, just kind of playing the role that you've played these last couple of weeks with Darnell being out, you getting more comfortable, and is it nice to go out there, see results, and gain some confidence?
I mean, we still miss Darnell a lot, but I mean, yeah, definitely the past 2 weeks getting to play a little bit more has helped me to gain some experience and get a little bit of confidence. But we still really looking forward to getting them back.
What was said in the locker room at halftime? Was it you guys know you need to play better, you know you can, and that kind of results in those first two drives in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a calm feeling, like we all just knew what we had to get done, and we went out and we executed.
Thank you.
Alex, Coach was talking this week a lot about not taking UTEP lightly. Looking at their record, can you just talk about just kind of not fighting to the end, but a hard-earned win today?
I mean, they came out a lot harder than us, and we needed some time to, I guess, get used to it, and then once we gather ourselves, we were good.
Just going to ask Andy about, you had 100 yards today, and you had the 32-yard touchdown run. Just tell us about that and how you felt, and how your offensive line supported you today.
So, first, the 30-yard run. Let's talk a little louder. First 30-yard run. It was a great job by our offensive line. I think you could have put anyone in there, and I think you could have put Matt in there, and he would have scored. And it was a great job by our offensive line, and I just had to do my part and run. And I think that was the story of the whole day. They were just making big holes for us, all three of us, and we were just being able to play our part and follow them.
Okay. And just go back to Connor about tell us about the 3-yard touchdown run that you had at the beginning of the third quarter that gave Army a lead.
Kind of going back to what Andy said, the line got so much movement. I think you could have put Matt in there, and he would have scored too.
And then you had the fifth touchdown on a 13-yard run late in the third quarter. Tell us about that, and again, what opened up the play for you?
I think I can see, I'm remembering again, Brett Toth did a really good job on getting the linebacker out of the box, and really the line just opened up the hole, and I didn't really need to do much else besides run straight.
Okay. And just ask Alex about on defense. Jim Nautical had a big day. You had to make some big plays during the game just to stop UTEP drives and turn the game around. John Boyd had a big play on that 3rd and 5 in the third quarter. Just what did the defense have to do to prevail today?
I think the biggest difference from the first and second half was just doing our job. We got caught out of our gap slot in the first half, and we weren't playing as physical as is preached here, kind of our identity on defense. So we came out in the second half, made some minor adjustments at halftime from fitting some of their plays. We just came out with a different attitude. I think that was the biggest difference, and played a lot more violent at the point of attack.
Just a motto, a win's a win. But you look at this game and a lot of things you guys could have done better, maybe going into next week too. And
yeah, every game I find something that I can improve on, and I think that's all of our guys do the same thing, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And we're definitely grateful that we were able to get a win, because it's not easy to get a victory. So,
thanks, guys.
All right, Coach will start with an opening statement and then take questions.
I heard the guys up here talking and just some of the questions, and we're glad to have a victory, and I think the guys agree. Victory is not easy, and we certainly had to earn this one tonight. UTEP played really, really well tonight. They ran the ball effectively against us, particularly in the first half, and they had themselves right there, beating us back, and fortunately we came out in the second half, played better on defense, and scored the first 3 times we had it, and kind of got them with their backs to the wall a little bit. We made the mistake with the pick 6. That was a little discouraging to see, but overall, just proud of our team for finding a way to win. And I guess it's difficult to come up here and say you're not satisfied with a victory, because I am. I'm happy to win. It certainly beats the feeling from last weekend, and I saw Boo Corrigan, our director of athletics, in the locker room, and he said, "You'd take an ugly win. You would have taken an ugly win last week," and he's right. So what we've got to do is play better and play our fundamentals and our assignments better, and that's really what got us in trouble. Right from the very first drive, when we had a chance to block the punt, and poor technique, we slapped down at the ball and hit the punter instead of crossing through the block point and putting a roof on it like we teach, and then got the ball there. And for very first play, I thought Ahmad made a great throw, and we got to go up and get it. We got to either hold the receiver off or go up and get it, make a play on the wheel route, and we had to punt the first drive, and then came out, dropped an interception, and that cost us. They proceeded to drive the ball right down our throats and scored a touchdown. We were missing tackles. We had a foolish penalty. They got flushed out of the pocket there late in the second quarter, and threw the ball down the field. They scored 2 minutes after we went up 14-7. So just a lot of things that we didn't do well. We covering the kickoff. There were times we did a really good job, and then they had a long return, and we went down there once and missed a tackle. Just had a free hitter to the ball. Countless things. The interception, we shouldn't even have needed to throw it to the safety valve over there. The whole middle of the field opened up, and we ran a very poor route, ran into the safety, and just a false start there in the fourth quarter to cause us to have to punt again, put us in a 1st and 15 situation. So there's a lot we need to clean up, and I think the encouraging thing is that our guys recognize that we're capable of better, and they're not just satisfied with any victory. They want to play their best. I want them to play their best, and we're going to have to continue this season and have an opportunity to win some more games.
Go ahead, Sal. Good. Was there a lot to say at halftime to the team, or was it just kind of?
Well, there were some things, some adjustments we made offensively. Certainly, the first drive where we dropped the pass and then didn't get ourselves in a position where we could, convert the first down and had to punt. That was disappointing. But then they held the ball the whole first quarter, and then we scored our next 2 drives and got it there at the end of the first half and just ran the clock out. So defensively, there was a lot we needed to discuss, and Alex hit on it right there at the end. Not playing our gaps. Same thing that got us in trouble last week. The 2 big plays against Tulane, didn't play our gap, didn't see a guard pull. It's pretty easy to see when they're standing right in front of you and the guard goes that way that, there's a key there. Now, not everybody's keying that guy, but guys that need to see it. And we just got ourselves out of position, didn't play our gaps, and then did a poor job tackling. We missed a lot of tackles, and we missed a lot the last 2 weeks. So didn't get any turnovers. As I said, we dropped an interception. We had another interception where we had a pass interference, and it wasn't a necessity to do that at that point. just a lot of things we got to do better. And Jay talked to the guys and got after them pretty good, and rightly so. And they played much better. And shutting them out in the second half was big. I hate, like I said, I hate we throw the pick six and goes against our points against us because those guys didn't earn that one.
So Wisham wasn't the prime receiver on that pass.
No, he's a check down guy. If the other guys on the route aren't open, which they weren't, and I mean everybody was playing the run. And like I said, our guy ran right into the safety. If he just slips the safety, the middle of the field's wide open.
Go ahead, John.
Coach, I mean, you just kind of alluded to it, but the turnover battle and lose it this week, you end up with the win, but the lack of getting the takeaways defensively, is that a cause of concern yet for you right now?
13 straight quarters without one. And it's hard to win when you lose the turnover battle. We lost it again today. So we've got to get some back. We've got to find a way.
Is it just getting back to the fundamentals, trying to – I mean, it seems like in that first quarter, guys were trying to get the ball out, maybe not wrapping up as much as that, you think, because they're kind of pressing to try to get that?
We're trying to get the ball out. We weren't getting him down on the ground. We need to get him secured first and then go for the ball. And, like I said, we intercepted the ball and had a pass interference, and the ball was well short of the receiver. And I thought he was going to make up the ground anyway. I don't think he needed to grab him, but he did. And he's just trying to make a play. Didn't want to give up a big touchdown play. We intercepted the one, or had the interception in our hands and dropped it early on in the game. I don't know. I mean, we had a bunch of balls thrown over the middle, those dig routes. They were running a post and a dig, and they caught a lot of dig routes. And I'd like to see us defend those better and maybe pick one of those off if we're playing a little tighter. You got to find a way to get the ball back, and we haven't done that. So I know that Jay and the defensive staff work hard at it. We emphasize it as a program, and I'm sure we'll up the efforts this week again to see if we can get some back from the other team.
What does that passing touchdown do what do you think it does for Ahmad's confidence in the offensive confidence as a whole?
I thought he threw a great ball to start the game on the very first play of the game, and that's a ball we need to catch. I thought he threw the ball very effectively. We had the touchdown pass. It was a little short. We had to stop and wait for it, which that's fine. We get it completed. The one we completed to eject him on the sideline was kind of tailed him back a little bit. If he threw that one out there a little bit more, he'd catch it in stride. But I'm glad to see him completing the balls, and he threw the ball well this week, and he does. The one that Kell dropped, he put that ball in the money. So he did some good things throwing the football. But again, that's not where we're going to earn our money. We've got to run the football.
3-0 at home. I know that's one of the goals you set out is be undefeated at Mikey Stadium. You get a step closer to that. What's that mean, and how important is that when you're trying to get to another bowl game and you got to take advantage of these games at home?
Well, there's a lot of football left to play. We're going to play a really good team this week, and just one at a time. And this week we got to go on the road, and so that goal of being undefeated at home only matters at the end. It's not to be 3-0, it's to get them all. So those are one at a time. I was proud of our guys that kept that goal intact, and certainly that will contribute to one of the other goals we have, which is to play in the postseason.
Thank you.
And Coach, we talked during the week about the depth you have at fullback, and you had 4 touchdowns from the position. Certainly, starting with Andy, but then with Kalen Holton and with Connor Slump having 2 touchdowns. How did you feel they did, and also the offensive line did blocking for them?
I thought the offensive line did a great job. We had a couple of times where they walked those linebackers up and we missed them, but they spit them out of there plenty of times too. And I was proud of their effort. They played hard. There's a lot of pride in that group. They're a physical group. And I thought the B-backs did a nice job running hard again. That's a really good group of players, and they run behind their pads and they get extra yards and they push the pile, and they're kind of all of them just what we want at that position.
And on the defensive side, Jim Nautical, 11 tackles. Ackerman had 2 for a loss. John Boyd had that big 3rd and 5 stop that really stopped a Texas drive. How did you feel like they were doing containing UTEP?
Particularly in the second half, a good job. Like I said, we did not have ourselves in great position in the first half all the time, and we missed some tackles, but you mentioned Voigt. He made the play both on 2nd and 3rd down. I think the 2nd down play was really big to set up the 3rd down play. I think the 3rd down play was a tackle for a loss. So I'm proud of him. He's a terrific leader out there. There's just certain guys that are able to take command of a group of people that are his peers, and he does that. The thing I'm really confident about is that our football team will find a way to play better. They're not going to be satisfied with playing the way they did today, because 1, they have more pride than that, and 2, we got leaders in that locker room that are not going to allow it, and he's one of those guys.
And just thought about your young defensive backs. One part of the team that you're playing, a lot of players have had to step up. Held UTEP to 110 yards passing, nothing over their heads today. How did you feel they were handling the situation?
They did a good job. Like I said, the dig routes were a little unnerving, just to, the deep crossing patterns and trying to get people underneath it and get our corners to play a little tighter coverage there. And, but some of those guys are playing a lot of football for the very first time. And so to not get a big play over the top, that's a step in the right direction for sure.
All right. Thanks, Coach.